Hey everyone, it's me Megz, and I am back with another video. You guys really enjoyed how I styled my kind of like soft pretty girl edges, so I'm here to show you exactly how I cut them. I don't even know if I necessarily want to call these baby hair because it's not baby hair. It's definitely getting grown hairs. So first, I'm going to look at my hairline and see where it kind of like naturally tapers. My hairline naturally tapers in the temple area. So I'm just kind of making sure that like, well, where do I even want to put this? So when you're doing this, you kind of want to see for yourself too, like where does it naturally taper? And then that's where you're going to kind of create and cut the little hairs because those are already short right there anyway. So what I like to do is, for me personally, I like the sideburn kind of look. Mind you, I had been cutting my hairs like this for probably over a year now. So that was already there and it had grown out just a little bit. So you can kind of like adjust the thickness to your liking. I kind of like mine right in the middle. You know what I mean? So I'm just making sure that this is as even as possible. And again, I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea because it's not supposed to be. But if you're wondering how to do it, this is how I do it. So you can take as little hair out or as much hair out. So with it all, I kind of create like at the temple area, a triangle kind of placement of the hairs that I pulled out. So you can see how it kind of look like a triangle. And mind you, those hairs right there are already short. So it's not like I'm totally creating new grown-up baby hair, but I'm kind of am though, because yeah, I just want to cut so I can style them how I want. So I always kind of straighten the hair just a little bit before I cut it, just to make sure like, okay, is this what I really want? Is this enough hair? And then I want to make sure that it's as even as possible. Sometimes I get this right, sometimes I don't, but it's okay because it grows out really fast. So I'm going to take, the pieces and straighten them because I'm actually going to style my hair. I have a second video coming on how I created this ponytail too. So I like to cut my baby hairs, adult hairs, grown-up hairs in an angle like that. So it's kind of like a diagonal angle. And y'all, I did mess up this side. I cut this side too short. So my sideburns are not really even. It's okay. So they're a little shorter than I anticipated or wanted, but it's okay. So for the temple hair, I cut that also at an angle. You see how it already is going at an angle? So I just kind of like lightly dust off the long stray hairs. So then this is the fun part. I take some Spritz because on these hairs, I don't really use gels and edge controls and things like that. I like something a little bit more lightweight that will keep the hair in place. So I like using this Spritz to kind of like shape and mold my edges and my ponytail area, so I can get the look that I'm going for. I want more of a soft kind of like, not necessarily crazy fluffy, because I do a fluffy edges a different kind of way with a different product. But this is for when I really want it to stay in place and there's no product buildup when I do my edges like this with this Spritz. So yeah, I just make sure when it comes to the style, I just smooth everything out. And I think the key part to this style of getting the edges to kind of look soft and kind of like that curled look is using a smaller curling iron. Because before, when I first started doing this, I was using a very tiny flat iron that I own, and I had burnt myself a couple times. And I was just like, you know what? No. I'm just going to use this teeny tiny curling iron. I had this curling iron for some time. So being that the hairs are really short in the front, this tiny curling iron gets me the maximum curl that I like. And so curling the hairs before allows me to get that look. And this is the Spritz that I like using by Fantasia. I've been using Fantasia products for some years now. And I really like this Spritz because it's not drying. So being that we pre-curled the edges, that's how I'm able to freely mold and style the edges like this. So as you can see, you can kind of go any route, any kind of way. You can go more loop-de-loop curl or kind of like just a simple one. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do. So I just spray my edge control brush with a little bit of the spritz and just mold the hairs in place. And being that the hair is already curled, this is super, super easy to do. And I really like using spritz over like edge controls or paste because it gives me that light look without having product buildup, and it's not drying to my edges, okay? So yeah, I'm just making sure that I do this with, you know, all my little pieces. You know what I mean? So it just makes it real easy. I don't do this often as far as curling the edges and wearing my edges like this, but I mainly just have them cut, you know, for when I want to do other styles too. You know, I don't do this look all the time with curling the edges and doing that. Sometimes I just kind of like use my regular gels or edge control products when I'm just doing regular protective styles like buns and stuff like that. But this is like for special occasions when I want to be real cute. You know what I mean? So I'm just doing the same thing with the other side. And the other side is clearly shorter than the other. And it's okay, you know what I mean? I just even that out, and my edges grow out really fast. So in about another month or two, they'll be back long and I'll just redo it. Just make sure it's as even as possible, but who's paying attention? You know what I mean? So this is how I get the look, y'all. Something cute. It's not for everybody, but it's for me when I want to do it. Just a little razzle dazzle. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.